This is the missing key to become profitable in trading that nobody talks about. It's not about strategy or psychology, it's something far simple but hidden in plain sight. If you don't do this, you can have the best strategy in the world and you will still be a losing trader. How is it possible? I'll explain it right away. Just make sure to watch the whole video as you will miss some important details along the way. I'll just say that I have spent over 7 years of all-day average trading, as my students already know, which are a part of my VIP group. I spent it studying every single strategy, thousands of hours of watched videos, and basically all the best trading books on the market. Thanks to being a programmer too, I coded hundreds of indicators, bots, expert advisors, and so on for crypto, forex, binary options, stocks on multiple platforms. I have backtested and forward tested so much stuff that I actually think it's basically physically impossible to gather more data in 7 years. I'd also say my opinion has value because I'm a perfectionist and always need to test everything and all the combinations until I'm satisfied and ready to choose the right option. I've been like this basically in every area since childhood, and that's why I've been able to do things that others said were impossible. So long story short, so that you make an idea of my focus, even when I needed, for example, a dental implant, for that moment I became the biggest expert in implantology, to the point that if that was physically possible, I would actually could be able to do the whole procedure myself. I watched all the videos, how to do it, blah blah. And actually, most dentists said that they didn't feel qualified enough to attend me. They said that my knowledge in implantology exceeds theirs, even though they had multiple certificates on the subject. But let's get back to the point, which is trading. To be able to really understand it to the core, I'll start with this. First, you need to learn how to become a break-even trader, not profitable, but also not losing any money. The best part is that even a monkey can do it. You literally don't need any skills, yet this monkey would still easily beat 95% of all traders. And if you think about it, it's crazy. How is that possible? I'm talking about using the basic law of statistical balance in nature. This is how the world works. Everything constantly wants to return to the middle ground, to the balance. I'm not gonna develop more on this idea, as I could explain it in all areas like physics, chemistry, spiritual world, everything. Let's just keep it simple and straight to the point. To become a break-even trader, all you need to do is go for a one-to-one risk to reward on one asset and do a one trade per day. And what you do, one day you buy, the best is at the same time. So one day you buy and the next day you sell, and you have the one-to-one risk to reward. So with your stop loss and take profit setup, or even randomly, flipping a coin. However, the more influencing factors you remove, the more and faster will this process come to balanced result. Because one influencing factor for trading can be, for example, that during a huge pump of an asset, statistically for a longer time, there will be more profitable buys than sells. But give it enough time and eventually things come to balance. Simply said, if you do 100 of these trades, you will win around 50% of the time and also lose around 50% of the time. So guys, congratulations, you are now a break-even trader. You can do it. As many brokers have zero fees on indices, for example, and minimal spreads. So literally, like even the prop firms, most of them, if you check on indices like Nasdaq, US 30, you can trade like with zero commissions and the spreads are like minimal. So really you can do it. You can become a break-even trader. You are actually, if you do this, what I told you, you know, just 50-50, you already are better than 95% of all traders. You just need to stick to it, that's all. So I just emphasize the importance of this moment one more time, as I don't think you realize the importance. You are now a better trader than 95% of people, as the statistics say that most people simply lose money. Now that you have achieved the first level and have become a break-even trader, which is, as you already understand, a huge thing, a huge success, you are ready to move to the next and final level in trading, and that is becoming profitable. That's it, guys. So all you need to do is to find at least a small edge on the market, on the charts, just something that you have tested over at least 100 times in a row, and it gave you, let's say, around 60% wins and just 40% losses, doing these one-to-one risk to reward trades. Or you can simply find something that would give you a better RR, so better risk to reward. So for example, you can aim for 1 to 2 risk to reward, and now you need just a win rate of 33.3%. Now you can understand that the best strategy will give us something from both worlds. Let's aim for at least 1 to 2 risk to reward and at least 60% win rate. Such a strategy will not only make you profitable, guys, but a very profitable trader, and basically it will change your life really quickly. The shocking fact is that basically all strategies you can find on YouTube meet these criteria, guys, or even exceed them. And now I know exactly what you are seeing. So what the hula is happening here? Is it because you act like a little scared that cannot respect a simple stop loss and take profit target? Yes, but why? Why is that, guys? Now we are finally getting closer to the most important part of this video. And you see, the reason most traders fail is not because of a bad strategy. All strategies work, guys. The reason why you are outperformed by a monkey is the following. Until now, nobody, not even you yourself, till now nobody was able to make you truly stop and realize what I'm telling you right now. You can be profitable right from today. All you need to do is take any strategy and trade it like a robot. Of course, a less discretionary strategy is easy for your mind, and as you will think it will make you more profitable, but in reality, even your thoughts and errors are already counted towards the statistical balance in nature that I was talking about. So the strategy really doesn't matter, guys. All that matters is that you follow the rules, all the rules of the strategy as much as possible. Just one thing you need to realize is that the order of wins and losses is completely random. Even with a 60% win rate strategy, you have 1% chance, exactly, it's actually 1.02% chance to hit 5 losses in a row, guys. 5 losses. So that means that within your 100 trades, it's basically guaranteed that you will get at least once a 5 trade losing streak, and you have no idea when, guys. That's the problem. You have no idea when. So you simply need to follow the rules no matter what. So what is the biggest problem that causes you to always act like a little, never do the right thing, do the thing that you know very well that would make you a profitable trader? It's simply because you don't like the strategy. And sometimes you don't even realize, but basically this This can be very individual and depends on your personality, availability to trade. Some people basically just don't have time and then miss out, and then FOMO to bad setups. So, and because of this, you will always go against the rules from time to time, as you simply won't have enough patience to wait for the best setups that you know you should wait for. Whereas if you really like the strategy, it wouldn't matter if you had to trade just one trade per day, you know? Why do most ICT traders fail? That's actually statistics, because most traders who trade on prop firms are ICT traders, and most traders fail. So basically, that's still the fact. It's simply because the most people don't really like the strategy, actually, because they found out they would need to look at the charts a lot, and there is no guarantee actually that there would be a trade that day. And why do most scalpers fail? It's because during their scalping sessions, they randomly find themselves to scalp sideway markets and don't have the patience to stop and wait for the next day. If you don't truly like a strategy, you will always fail by overtrading. It's that simple. So, is there any universal strategy that most traders would like? Yes, there is, and it's actually, in my opinion, also the best strategy for many reasons, but I'll explain them in another video. Here I'll just mention that after all of these years, I obviously did develop such a strategy. As I mentioned, I always search for the best in any area that I work on. So, and the secrets are the following for the best strategy, in my opinion. So, just one trade per day, just 2-hour trading window at a time of day that you are available, not intensive though anyway. You just set up simple alerts or directly pending orders, and you can do other stuff. And also, I think it needs to be mechanical. No ambiguity or uncertainty, and you can tell your levels within 5 seconds of looking at the chart. And also, it needs to be simple, as only that can be perfected and focused on properly. Where this is actually where the magic happens, guys. Even like the best sportsmen, like the best NBA players, I don't know if you know about it, but they just randomly, for example, choose like this year I will be just do this simple train, mostly this simple thing, and they focus to perfect one very simple thing. Basically, like dribbling, like very simple, like 5th grade stuff, children stuff. They basically always try to perfect the simplest movements, simplest things in their sports. And this is how you basically, I don't want to develop more on this idea like too much, but this is actually where the magic happens, because when you repeat something very like simple, and you come to the point where you really just don't know how to improve it even more, and so basically you continue, you train the same thing, and then somehow it comes to your mind, okay, this is something I haven't thought about before, and actually you even go like beyond 100%. And this is where, as I said, the magic happens. This is where you become better than others at this thing, and then when you use it properly, it's a very unique skill. So, and also, so the fifth point, I would say the ideal strategy you need to have is just one asset. You need to focus on one asset. People make random mistakes, and to minimize them, you need to focus and master one thing so that everything you do becomes automatic. It's like when you're driving a car. This way, you will avoid mistakes like bad entries, incorrect positions, position sizes, taking stop loss or TP take profit too soon. It's actually very crucial to always respect your levels, always respect the entries, stop loss, and take profit levels. You cannot take profits too soon because you will destroy the whole strategy. Your losses will be bigger, profits smaller, and basically you get the point. Even one of the best chess players of all times said that on a competition, everybody is a great chess player. The winner is simply the one who does less mistakes during the match. For example, I remember that in one trade, when I traded more assets and needed to enter quickly, I remember how I closed that trade very soon, as at that quick moment, I just forgot what was supposed to be my TP, my take profit level. I actually closed it 2 times sooner. So basically, my TP should have been 40 pips, and I closed it at 20 pips. So basically, I earned 2 times less, and this is actually huge. These mistakes are huge, even though it doesn't sound maybe like that. But you imagine you do this, and then next time you do something even worse, and your overall balance just isn't where it should have been if you were simply following the strategy. And the more mistakes you do like this, the harder it is on your psychology. So you, in a chain reaction, probably do even more errors, more mistakes. So these small little mistakes here and there add up. Another reason to focus on one asset only is even more important, and that is to use the statistical balance in nature in your favor. You simply need to focus on one thing, otherwise you will spread your odds across a bigger amount of variables and you cannot be sure when to expect a win anymore. Let me explain a simple, let's get back to the example with a random trade of 1-to-1 risk to reward on one asset on one time, 1 hour of the day, one specific time of the day, where you trade one day a buy and one day a sell. If you get to a situation where you're losing 3 days in a row, every day you lose, you will know that the next day it's a lot less probable to have another loss in a row on that asset that you're trading, the same exact thing that you do every day. You know that the stats you've traded it, you know your back test and forward test results. It's it's exponentially actually less probable that the next day you will have a losing day, and this is a very strong thing for your psychology and something that actually helps you to use the full position on your next day trade. So basically, as you are exhausting the probabilities within that one situation, it's not because trading more assets of equal win rate would change the statistics, but it's simply because you are a human, and when you shift your focus on something else, you lose concentration, and it's statistically more probable that you will do some random mistakes. That's why, for example, you also want to finish a job you started the fastest you can, as you know that getting again into that focus, load up your brain RAM, random access memory of your mind, of your brain, with all the information, so that you can actually come up with something, to make a progress in your project, around any subject. It requires time to get into that flow. So of course, pauses have another benefit, but it's not applied in this case, as we are just clicking a button in trading, either buy or sell on one asset. So as I explained in my video series, Secret to $1 Million, number 4, the focus has a lot more advantages. You will, but you can watch it, it's in the description. You will almost attract the positive outcome just by your confidence about that one asset that you trade all the time. You will become a specialist, and specialists are always better, Who would you like? Well, actually, I'm not gonna develop more this idea. For more, just check out the whole video. Link is in the description below. By focus, you not only reduce mistakes, but also open the door to unpredicted improvements that you never knew were possible. So just to clarify, trading multiple assets with similar win rates purely mathematically results in the same outcome. However, because you are not a robot, so the reason you will have a lower win rate is because of random mistakes. To understand the probabilities a bit better and why you should trade just one asset, I'll explain in a video that I'm gonna do after this one, because I want to keep this focused on why you are actually switching your strategy. This is the whole point, and I want to just stop you right there and realize that this is the core of your problems. This is the problem why you fail, and you need to realize that switching strategies, it just doesn't make sense. The only reason why you keep failing and getting angry and frustrated after a loss is because subconsciously you didn't follow your strategy rules. It's that simple. All you have to do is follow a strategy, and the first sign that you are on the right track is when you are completely indifferent about your losses, as you will completely understand that it's just a part of the process. Now, just a quick practical example. If your strategy tells you to buy on the breakout, and you have a fixed stop loss and a fixed take profit, you have no business in trying to support this idea with some other confluences, like trying to read the order blocks, fair value gaps, inverted fair value gaps, bullish breaker, bearish breaker, inducements, and so on, all this ICT stuff, SMC. You are now doing breakouts, guys. So your strategy results are based on that. And every strategy, as I said, has losses and wins. So basically you will just you will basically, or you are in a breakout, and then you suddenly see some double bottom, like W or M pattern. You cannot take this into account. You need to follow your rules and the stop loss and take profit of what you back tested for those breakouts, because otherwise you have no strategy. So getting confused by mixing your strategy with other strategies and potentially breaking your rules is the number one mistake people make when trading, and why they break their rules. You simply cannot be focused enough to use efficiently some random confluences you have learned, as otherwise you would get trapped in doing things like missing a profit just because you saw, as I said, some double bottom. Stick to the simplest rules. By getting distracted, you will miss the best opportunities within your strategy. Your whole focus needs to be not breaking any rule of your strategy. Once you achieve at least 30 days without breaking a significant rule, you have just become a profitable trader. But it all starts with a decision. So tell me in the comments below, have you already decided not to do this mistake, not to switch strategies and just focus on one strategy that you like? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.